In a time long ago, there lived in the kingdom of Gallowmere.
Right, I've just realised I'm not getting any sound from the game, so let me just see if I can fix that. It might not be trying to use my headset. But hello to everybody if it's shown up for people yet. I'm feeling a little bit better today, hence why I'm doing a video. It's definitely on my phone, isn't my voice coming out? Yeah, right, okay, I think by the look of it, it's probably just the volume's right down on my headset then. Let me try turning it up and see if that's all it is. Yeah, okay, it was something very simple, it was just literally the headset volume. Right, let me try and turn it up, Fuzzy. That's strange, I've not changed it since last time, so, is that any better? Because I know there's one of the switches which you can adjust the microphone volume with on the headset, but... So, what I'll do is I'll start playing the game and we'll see if the volume improves. But yeah, so I've been feeling pretty damn shitty the last few days. I was alright Thursday. Friday night, kept waking up during the night, and basically been bedridden ever since. So other than a bit of time being out of bed over the weekend and sort of today, like now, I've pretty much been constantly bedridden. Alright Fuzzy, yeah, it's a bit strange, but yeah, so it's definitely fucking long COVID, which is brilliant, because, you know, that was something I definitely didn't want. So what I'm mostly just doing now is following all the, like, sensible advice I can find to, you know, minimise the symptoms from that online. But at least today I was able to get some proper sleep. Because the main problem's been with it, I've noticed, is you feel constantly tired, but you don't actually kind of fall asleep properly. So you're not really, you know, regaining energy. But yeah, so it felt similar to some of the days when I had COVID, maybe not as intense, but it's just the fact that, you know, it's lingering around. Right, I'm not sure which mission to try. Try the assignment one. Yeah, it's basically post-viral fatigue, it's just how long it lasts. If you're lucky, it doesn't last that long, does it? And then it's gone. But the problem is, obviously, for some people, it's been lingering on for months and months. So, like I say, I'm just hoping that, you know, if I really look after myself in the next week or so, that will be the end of it, but you never know. But yeah, it's a very frustrating thing when you know, the right weapon I want. But yeah, it's, so I was like, saying, like, what was really annoying was today I thought I was going to be alright, sort of, you know, I didn't get much sleep during the night, but sort of I thought I'm not too tired, so I'll have a couple more hours in bed, then I can go out and do dog walking, and then I fell asleep for like an actual hour, but after I woke up I felt totally drained. You know, to the point I wouldn't have been safe for getting behind the wheel of the car or whatever. But thankfully, after getting a bit more sleep today, because I've actually managed to get some actual sleep, which is nice. It's, you know, I feel a bit more normal, but obviously I'm still going to probably do the usual thing at the moment of having an early night and everything like that. Yeah, this is a reason I would definitely recommend people not to try and catch COVID on purpose. Not that I think most people would do it, but, you know, even if you get one of the less dangerous strains, you still have a lot of symptoms that linger on and, you know, I'll have a look at the headset again after I've cleared the screen and see if I can figure out what it's doing. just pause it because the cannons are going to be shooting at me. Right, so if I turn that one fully up, let's turn both of them fully up, and then I'll definitely turn the game volume down because that's far too loud now. But yeah, the thing I know of the headset is it's a different volume you hear than what I hear through the headset, if that makes sense. So I could have the headset set to 0 volume, but you could still hear the speakers. But I've not changed the settings since last week, that's why it's a bit weird. Unless it's sort of the battery needs a bit of a recharge on it or something. I think it's easier to use the hammer here. That might be a bit better for crowd drawing. But yeah, like I said, it's a pretty horrible thing. It's like saying, if you've had flu before, you know what it feels like. It's just the idea that, you know, you've technically gotten over a virus and all loads of it sticks lingers on is really annoying. But at least it seems all the people, you know, I work for are actually at least really good about it, knowing that when people get COVID, they don't get right straight away. Whereas I've heard that, you know, some people have run into problems where their bosses have always been like, oh no, you're not infectious and you'll be fine. Let me read that in a second, Dan, once I'm not getting run out of a menu straight bracket. I didn't realise there was a trade on it now. Right, so I can at least doesn't sound like a bad price, no, Dan. So yeah, I'd say you could certainly do worse price-wise of ECBAs than that. Got a bit of a temperature, but the good thing is at least I'm coming back negative on test, so I'm not infected for people. So that's the good news. Where have I gone? In the... That's the end of the level. In a moment, I'll take my temperature. Oh, yeah, I've still got it here.
By heck, am I glad to see you. That Zarek tried to force me to hand over the shadow artifact. He means to release the demons from their tomb under the enchanted
34
forest.
Celsius, so that's not really a fever,
You
is it?
can't
I do
touch
feel
me,
quite
you
sort
lanky
of warm.
windbag. I'm the merc. Aye, that told him. But then he had me locked up in here with all these nutters. Oh, it's been terrible. I haven't managed to get a word of sense out of anyone in weeks. Right. Well, I'll see myself out, thanks. You have a good look around, lad. Zarek's left some stuff lying about that I think you might find useful.
Yeah, people are still in the comments. Say hello, because I haven't seen anyone since Dan asked him about the ECBA. Yeah, like, the annoying thing at the moment is that I've got loads of stuff I could potentially do videos on, but obviously I've just not been well enough to do it, which is kind of the frustrating thing. So it's gone from, you know, not really having stuff to do content on to now having...
Back and forth like a supernatural yo-yo. Maybe the master will make it harder to find those magic egg cups.
Which one am I visiting then? Assume the chat's not working then, unless it's just frozen on my phone. Let me refresh the stream. Yeah, I think the chat's broken. Brilliant. Unless it's just YouTube's hiding every comment people are making because of some random reason it thinks they're offensive words.
Ah, Herr Fortescue, you are back on the battlefield, yeah? This is good. People say to me, Sturmgard, what do you think of this sword or that axe? But I say to them, nein! Modern warfare is a question of science, the science of shields. I think maybe you should take my shield, yeah? It is magic, Herr Fortescue. Some say it is better to have a magic sword
Only that
than a
one you
magic
just
shield,
made,
but I
Dan.
can use it. This is rubbish!
The previous comment I could see was the one where you said about the
So
ECBA.
long as you use it properly, the shield will make you invincible!
I can see that comment, yeah. So I don't know if it was just for a couple of minutes, like the server wasn't talking properly with my thing. But bear in mind, I've got both the phone out and the PlayStation, so I should see the comments on both, or at least part of the comments. Yeah, I can see it now, Dan. But yeah, so like I was saying, for the first, I think for Friday, I had a really bad fever. Saturday and Sunday, like Saturday evening I felt a bit better, but then Sunday morning I felt crap again. Most of the time I've been noticing this is it seems when I get part way into the day, I feel like I've got a lot more energy than I do in the mornings. But did I ever complete that Pumpkin Gorge level, or did I fail it? Was that the one I finished last time we did the stream? There it was. That's a very good price, Skyfox from Israeli Gas Masks. Right, Justin, I was just saying, so I've been a bit shit on... I haven't been on personally since, I think about Thursday, because of the fact that, you know, well, so you might not know, I did make a post about it, but basically what happened was I started getting some of the long COVID symptoms, like post-viral fatigue, whatever you want to call it. So I'd say I've not had a single day where I felt worse than the worst day of when I had COVID, but I've had a lot of days where I've had a load of the COVID symptoms that feel like, you know, feel like having flu. So over the last few days, I've mostly been sort of stuck in bed, just because, you know, I've been completely drained of energy. Yeah, I'm hoping, Dan, it doesn't last too long, and I have started reading a load of, you know, stuff and watching a load of stuff on long COVID where they give you advice on, you know, like how to not exacerbate the symptoms.
The King Pumpkin sleeps. If you want an audience with this regal plant, You should mash all of his pod sacks.
Yeah, cheers. Like I said, it's one of those annoying things where, you know, there's no real kind of answerism. It's probably going to depend on the shape of the filter, isn't it? And like how much charcoal you're putting in there, because most military filters are designed to have a proper like airflow system through them. So I assume it's more just a clogging.
It is rumored that the Pumpkin Witch is in possession of a much sought-after dragon gem. If you have a witch talisman, you could summon this kindly witch.
I remember there's a hammer more most of these guns as well. I don't know then, Mitch. It's probably just the purity of the charcoal isn't as good or something. Yeah, it's not fun, is it, having COVID and all this stuff. But at least I didn't get any like serious, you know, symptoms like needing a ventilator or all that when I had COVID. It's just the fact that it's not going away very much. You know, I had a few days where it felt like it was completely gone and I was back to normal, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, here come more symptoms, etc. Actually, we need that system of tests. Yeah, one of the things I was watching from a lot of the videos doctors had done on post-viral fatigue and things like that, where they were saying you on purposely don't want to exercise. Yeah, I had my booster before I caught COVID itself. Because I had the booster, I think only about a week before I got Omicron, so it probably wasn't fully in my system at that point. But no, Dan, that's the thing. I've been doing stuff where I've been not even drinking at all on some days, you know, and I'd still feel exactly the same on the next day. But yeah, I do think it's probably a case of having COVID, then being straight back to work, in a sense, as soon as my COVID was over, probably, you know, working myself too much, in a sense. And then, you know, suddenly, like, a couple of days later, you get hit by the full force of your body going like, oh no, I need to rest now. Because I think they were saying, weren't they, in some of the things, it's a bit like where chickenpox turns into shingles, where it's, like, I think they were saying something like that, where COVID does potentially go into the spine, and that's why it lingers for ages. Oh, there's a problem with the server, error 503, that's probably all the chat's going a bit dodgy. There's some African camos that have yellow in them, if I remember right. Yeah, I really like Medieval Justice. I'm saying it's been annoying over the last few days because I've basically played no video games at all because of the fact that, you know, like I said, I've been in bed nearly all day, and then some of the times when I wasn't in bed, I had brain fog or I just couldn't concentrate on anything. But I'd say out of all the evenings so far, this is the one where I feel the best because I actually feel up to, you know, talking to people and doing stuff. Whereas on the worst of the days, I literally get out of bed to, like, have a hot bath and then go straight back to bed again, you know, so that was the entire time out of bed. I'd say the big issue seemed to mostly be just that I wasn't really sleeping properly. So, you know, that thing of you're still getting kind of like sleep there, even though you're in bed, but, you know, your body days you not really sleep. I think so, Dan, but it probably depends on which generation that you buy, because the older EVAs have a slightly different filler in them. They're probably level 2. One pod. Right, Rich. I've just been telling everybody about all the sort of COVID symptoms I've still got, all the long COVID, whatever you call it, post-viral fatigue. will definitely start taking my iron tablets again though, because they're obviously a big fine help if you've got to use that large little. Yeah, I won't be doing a super long stream today because, as I said, I'm sort of trying to conserve my energy, so not doing stream too long, stuff like that. You know, if I need a nap of an hour, having a nap of an hour, sort of thing. What do you mean by the caliber? If you mean caliber as in bullets, what about caliber as in bullets? Or do you mean calibri? The only problem when you're reading stuff in chat is if it's meant to be pronounced in a certain way, I'm not going to know. Keep forgetting how insanely powerful the javelin is. Is that a pistol crossbow? If it's a pistol crossbow, I'm afraid I can't really do any shooting at the moment. Right, look, there's Reeves still dead again. Oh, well, sadly I can't own one of those in the UK, as far as I'm aware. And if it's the sort of thing where Forgotten Weapons have done a video on it, there's not much point in me doing one because you've done a better job than I'd have done on it. That makes sense anyway. I mean, you can own guns, but you can't really own pistols in a meaningful way. Well, I was saying there's no point because there'll be channels like Forgotten Weapons that will do a much better job, because if I've never held one and don't know much about it, there's not really much point in me doing a video on it. I'm saying, especially if it's channels like Forgotten Weapons have covered it history in depth. But and that's nothing personal, it's just if it's something I don't own, or anything like that, there's no point in me really doing something on it if it's already been done better by somebody else. No, that's fine, I'm just sort of saying that's the You can shoot with them if they're registered as a Section 1 or Section 2, otherwise you can just own them. So all my obsolete calibers I don't have any live ammunition for, because they're in the obsolete caliber format rather than being registered as a shootable firearm. The reason though they're popular is because you can register and deregister them really easily.
Greetings, kind sir. I am the Pumpkin Witch. I'm like a mother to those pumpkins. I give them all the love and care a young fruit could ever ask for. From the moment they first push a shoot above the soil, right up until their heads are cut off and eaten. And look, see how they repay me, running around and causing mischief. That nasty old big pumpkin has a bad influence on the young seedlings. If you teach him a lesson in manners, I might give you a nice present.
Oh, I already just done that.
A most edifying spectacle, sir. Man and vegetable in a magnificent duel to the death. Oh, I've come over all of a doodah.
I'm not actually sure, Fuzzy. She just said it was a vegetable,
as your
didn't she?
reward. Oh, lovely, majestic creatures dragons are.
I think that's the 2 I need for a level much later in the game, isn't it? Maybe she's a bit of a fruitcake Fuzzy and she doesn't know. Right, where's the chalice on this level? I need to collect it before I finish. Are they actually in the obsolete caliber list? But yeah, it sounds like it's impossible to get them regardless, unless you sort of want to spend loads of money. But, yeah, so, yeah, basically the point in how obsolete caliber weapons laws work here is that they don't need to be registered as a firearm or you don't hold the ammo for them. It's in the title of the stream, it's Medieval, the remake of Medieval. Right, where's the chalice on this level then? I'm assuming I've not already picked it up. Unless I have, I'm just being dumb. Or, Garand Fun, what, like, you got it caught in the mechanism? Or was the chalice sort of in this bit? Yeah, Dan, the thing I think a lot of people also forget about with obsolete calibers as well is that, see, it looks like it might be up there somehow, is that even if people were to reload them, they wouldn't be as normally a higher powder charge as current gen firearms. So, you know, even things like the Schmidt-Rubin, if you actually had that shooting, it's... Right, I'm just going to hope I've got the chalice, because, is that telling me to go here somewhere? Not right there. So I said I might have already picked the chalice up but not realised. I just don't want to complete the level, then I have to redo it again to pick the chalice back up. And it looks like there's a cave up there you should be able to get in a few minutes. I've got some deactivated guns and some obsolete calibers, so the obsolete calibers are guns, I just don't have the ammunition for them, but as I said, otherwise I can't legally own them without a Section 1. Right, let's hope I've already got the chalice, because it's been on the level. Nope, great. I have no idea where that was then. Well, I can always just grab it at a later point, but it's obviously one where it's fairly easy to get all the kills on that level for it, because all the enemies are sort of, you have to fight them, but... not all of them are, Dan. Some of the early versions of those, a bit like the Mannlicher I've got, they're different calibers because they were like less powerful, like barrels. I'm trying to think of like how the proper way of explaining it would be. But, you know, like where they can't contain as much internal pressure with the bolt mechanism and the barrel and everything. So they have almost like a necked down version of the original cartridges, or like the cartridges everyone's familiar with. So with some of those, you can shoot the cartridges, the older cartridges from the newer guns, fine. They're just sort of lower velocity ammunition, but if you put the old cartridge in, it would cause, like, you know, the bolt to blow open, or something like that, or just wear the gun parts down really quickly, because they were never intended. Because that's the thing with the Schmidt-Rubens, is the later Schmidt-Rubens have to be on Section 1, because they have a stronger bolt mechanism in them to handle higher pressure ammo. I probably could at some point, Rich Gamer, like saying, just the problem is at the moment I've got a lot of stuff I want to do videos on, and I'm trying to be very careful about not overworking myself, you know, so rather than thinking, oh shit, I need to do this many streams and this many videos a week plus work and all that, that's probably why I've run myself into the ground again after COVID, because I sort of thought, I'll feel fine, I'll, you know, go full steam ahead, which doesn't really work out with something like COVID. Let's see what goes on. Yeah, it's one of my most popular videos, the top 10 scary gas masks one. But yeah, so it's because yeah, that was the thing I was seeing from a lot of the people saying about long COVID type stuff, is it was people that, you know, used to do loads of exercise. So once they felt better from COVID, they'd go out on like a jog or, you know, like a big bike ride or whatever, and then a day later or so they'd feel, you know, almost completely hungover, shivering in bed. So I think it's probably a similar thing to that, where... But yeah, funnily enough, the people I know who've been hit hardest by COVID, like all the people I personally know that have had it, have generally been the more healthy, active people, which I guess makes sense. If they've got COVID, think they've gotten over it, then immediately start, you know, going full on, sort of back to working 6 days a week or whatever and everything else. I mean, I know with COVID, obviously, you're more at risk if you're overweight and old and everything, but I think from, like, the actual kind of long COVID stuff, it generally seems to be younger, healthier people that notice it. So I suppose if you're a lazy person anyway, you're not going to notice if you've got a bit less energy than normal. All you do is sit on the sofa eating like crisps or whatever. Is he at the moment? They seem to be mostly saying that we just need to learn to live with it. But again, I know their government can be very quick at changing its mind with all this stuff as soon as a bit of data or evidence comes out. And I'm at the point now where, as much as I would have been anti having a lockdown a couple of weeks ago, I'm actually thinking now, if it just means that, you know, there's less overwhelming of the health services, you know, and I'm not actually allowed to go into work, so I don't have to worry about phoning in sick, you know, and feeling like I'm causing a nuisance. Yeah, that's the thing, Dan. I think with Omicron, there's really not, is there, in the sense that most of the people now getting COVID aren't getting that ill with it.
Who has summoned the Witch of the Forest? Oh, it is you, Sir Fortescue. Forgive me, my lord. I have never met a real hero. Forgive me, just an old lady's little joke. In truth, I am glad to see you, Sir Fortescue.
Yeah, that's the thing, AK. I think lots of Americans don't realise, you know, they're actually in quite a privileged position for what they're allowed to own. So it's annoying when, you know, you sometimes get Americans talking like, oh, how shit your laws are in other countries. It's like, yeah, none of us actually chose to have those laws. It's just what we've had over time. Right, Buffy plays, as I've said loads of times, and this is my personal opinion, you know, like not a doctor's opinion or whatever else, is basically you should find out with your own medical history and with your own doctors and that, what the best vaccines would be for you, what your risk factors are and everything else. Because I don't think it's a universal, you know, fits-all thing. Generally with the vaccines, it's, you know, the more vulnerable you are, the better idea it is you have them. But there's always side effects and probabilities of medication, so you don't really just take something for the sake of taking it.
Run, little man. If the master found it now, he would crush it like a bag. Hark! We can hear the soldier ants approaching. Onward, and meet your tiny nemesis.
Yeah, that's one of the things that annoys me, Dan, is that in some places they're getting paid more to just do vaccines and actually see patients normally. Because, in all honesty, if this long COVID type stuff I've got on drags and like on another week, I definitely need to get a doctor's appointment just so they can rule out that, you know, it's not something more serious underlying that's causing it, you know, that's just come at a coincidental time. But at the moment, I'm not too worried, because every video I've looked up on doctors, you know, spending like a 30-minute to an hour, you know, like lecture talking about long COVID, I was like, oh, I've got literally 9 out of 10 of those symptoms. And like you're saying, you can get post-viral fatigue from anything as well. I've already said it's medieval. It's the title of the stream.
This magic portal was crafted by the fairies. It appears to have been created to prevent something escaping from the tunnels below.
I always remember it being quite a creepy level.
My people wish only to live our lives in blissful harmony with nature.
Do you mean you want to store them for a while in storage and not have them damaged? Store them out with the light is the main thing, and somewhere dry, but not like, you know, really, really dry where they're going to dry out. So, like, say you get like an airtight ammo box, that with a bit of silica gel in would be perfect, because that way it's not going to get the sun hitting it constantly, you know, and cooling up and cooling down. Most masks, not all of them, the ones that get damaged easily are sort of either from being hung up on the straps, where the straps sort of get pulled, being left in the sunlight, you know, so they constantly get hit in a certain area by UV every day, and you know, eventually your gas mask starts getting a tan and like the rubber starts going there, or if they're kept in, you know, like mouldy conditions or whatever else.
Here we are. I shall open the entrance for you.
Yeah, Justin, I mean, I think that's the best case scenario, isn't it? Is every time that you take, it gets more infectious but less and less dangerous, till it gets to the stage where it's basically something you don't even notice getting. Because there's certainly been colds I've had before where it's like, you know, you have a sore throat and a stuffy nose for like a day or two and that's it. And that's certainly, you know, if most horrible diseases turned into stuff like that over time, that would be a good thing for us. Careful about what, British gamer? Yeah, that would work fine. I've actually got some old masks that were stored like that, you know, like that was how they issued them to people. They were in like a big metal tin, essentially. Some of them, you know, had like a plastic lid, some of them had like a cardboard lid, some of them ones like you had to open with a can opener. But they were essentially, you know, all originally in, at least the ones that were designed for your long-term storage in some sort of thing like that. Because again, it's like stuff like GP5s, they weren't all stored in their satchels with the filters and all that ready. Most of them, if you see when like they're people find them in bunkers, you've got like a crate that's got all the satchels on one bit of the crate, then it's got all the masks, you know, kind of in like a cardboard type stuff in another bit, you know, then maybe all the filters in a separate crate. So what they just do is, you know, if they had to use them, they get a mask out, put it with a filter, put it in a bag and hand it out to people. But they didn't store them like that originally, because that would take up too much room. A bit better this evening, Lord Flashheart. I've been absolutely shit, I'm not going to lie, over the last few days. And I think that's been a combination of things, but I'm saying it's definitely like, you know, post-viral fatigue long COVID type thing. But it's been in the sense, like I was saying to people, I think the worst bit is the sort of, you're feeling really fatigued, that your body doesn't want to go to sleep. So you end up laying in bed trying to nap for ages, you know, just getting frustrated. You've not got the energy to do anything, if that makes sense. So today, I think I'd have felt a lot better than I did, except the fact that I then had loads of sleep debt from where I couldn't sleep properly for the last couple of nights. So then, you know, I sort of just conked out when I wanted to sort of do stuff today. But today's been the first day I've managed to eat, like a proper meal since Friday. You know, like, rather than just some biscuits, whatever. Yeah, hopefully, Dan. So I think that was the thing I was saying with MERS as well, not MERS, SARS before COVID, because ours is, COVID is SARS too, isn't it? But it was a similar thing, that people that caught it survived often for quite a while, had like lots of side effects just coming back, where it didn't sort of use the body properly, even if your immune system dealt with the worst of it. Yeah, what I am doing, Lord Flashheart, is I've been definitely keeping track of all my multivitamins and that at the moment, just because of the fact, obviously, if you're not eating much, it's easy to take some tablets with a bit of water, even if you've got no appetite, so I've at least been doing that. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't recommend people catch this on purpose. Like I was saying, it's the thing where if you get it now, it's not as bad as it would have been earlier in the pandemic, but it's not an enjoyable experience. And like I said, the thing that's just been frustrating me more was the thing of, you know, like, I want to be out and doing stuff, and then I have to keep, like, I feel like personally I'm letting people down when I say, you know, like, oh, I'm ill, you know, I can't come in. But I suppose because I've never been really a person to, you know, do the boy who cried wolf, oh, I'm ill when I get a slight, you know, cold or anything minor. Most people actually believe me if I say to them, you know, I'm feeling really shitty and can't work. And I think a lot of people at the moment with COVID are actually a lot better at sort of thinking if there's any chance you might infect other people, just don't come in. Even though I said I'm on the lateral flows, I've been negative quite a lot now, so it seems like I'm not got enough of it in my system to actually infect other people, but some of it's still lingering about. I can't remember which order I meant to do this stuff in, so I better put the placement to go through. I just break this slope. The only thing on this level is if I remember right, it's one of those annoying levels where you have to find all the items before you get to the boss, otherwise you have to like redo the level. So I'm meant to be getting all those bits of whatever I can't remember. No idea if I'm going down the wrong way. Yeah, was there the Central African Republic, one of like the Congo sort of bits that's now the Congo, or was the Congo at one point and then Zaire? I know the dictator of Zaire used to like his leopard print, didn't he? But I don't know if I've actually seen the camo like that. As in the American grey colour maybe like. Sadly not. I've never actually seen it for sale here, because UCT is one of those interesting camos that if you actually buy it and then dye it brown and green, it can actually look quite good. So I suppose at that point it's just end up looking a bit more like Mark, which is actually quite a good camo. Was it Democratic Republic of the Congo before then? Because I know obviously it's been called the Congo at sort of one point when I think the Belgians ran it. Let's go back in this big reel again. Another one more still in there. Just have money in that one. Literally went down. Nice, so I'm not been looking yet. I guess that's the last of the little, what do you call them? Grubs. Lines. 8 of 7 are good, so that means I've got to saying that was the biggest mission in my job, to get to the boss pretty quickly unless you fail it if you're not.
If you are brave enough to go beyond this point, you will enter the chamber of the dreaded Queen Ant.
Advise me to clean what British game? Unless it's not showing all the comments. Use up all my spears. rears up and attacks me, and then damage it. Okay. That works. Oh, so a lot of these see on eBay now, that's good to know. Because I know at one point it was one of those things where it was kind of very hard for people to export out of America. Because of, you know, like some sort of iPad something. Bow. But yeah, I'll finish the stream now because I've not really got the energy to play loads more of this tonight, especially like I say with feeling a bit overheated and everything else. But yeah, it's also like how you sometimes have like north and south or east and west of a certain country, don't you? Even though they can be completely different governments and everything else. That makes sense to me, Little Picker. Yeah, if you get an old mask, I definitely would not recommend breathing through an asbestos filter. No, that's not a good idea. But I don't suppose there was a checkpoint.
Run, little man!
No, it's right at the start of the level. So yeah, we'll need to go back and sort of restart it and get all the health things. Right, anyway, I'll be off now, but thanks for watching. So, as I said, videos might be a bit spotty being uploaded at the moment, because it's really going to just depend on how much energy I've got on the day. Because, as I said, there's some days where I've been feeling alright at certain times, and then others where I've felt almost like, you know, somebody's chloroformed me or something, you know. So, yeah, I'll, so I said, I'll hopefully be on as much as possible, but obviously if I feel, you know, not right on a day, it's probably best to just rest up. Alright, cool, cheers, Little Picker. Right, anyway, I'll be off now. Thanks for watching, everybody, and, like I said, I'll be on videos and streams when I can just sort of manage it, because at the moment I don't really know how often that's going to be, because I don't know how each day I'm going to feel with all the COVID symptoms. Alright, see you, mate.